what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video to talk about the uh news, I guess, of Vince McMahon, the chairman of the board, the man who has been owning WWE since 1982 when he bought it from his father. So basically, there's some allegations, I guess, recently actually. When I first heard the news, I thought this was gonna be some type of thing from probably 15 years ago or some bullshit like that. Because I mean, we've if you've been watching wrestling as long as I've had, you have heard you probably heard so many wild stories about Vince McMahon, good and bad stories, okay, and controversial ones. So you've probably heard this. But I've been watching it since I've been watching WWE. I started watching it when I was 6. So I've been watching it for a long time. I've been watching wrestling for that a long time. Obviously WCW, when WCW went out of it, because I was watching both back then. When I started watching wrestling, because we had both companies and we had both things on cable there, so I was able to watch both. When I had my choice of what I wanted to watch. Obviously, then when WCW went out of business, then it was just WWE. There was TNA, but TNA was crap. It was a crappy product, in my opinion. I never liked their booking. Obviously, we got AEW now, but that was years away, guys. Point being is, so this whole thing with Vince McMahon. So this new allegation is he cheated on his wife, basically, which doesn't surprise me, because if you know the goddamn character of Vince McMahon on television, he's pretty much cheated on his wife on television anyways. So this really doesn't surprise me at all. He's a billionaire. It's, billionaires do this all the time. That wasn't real. I was like, why are they investigating that? The board of directors are investigating Vince McMahon for this or whatever. And I was like, well, okay, he paid $3 million for hush money against this former employee or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I mean, why are they investigating? And it's like, whatever, he paid the money. And, this is what a lot of these billionaires, millionaires do anyways. So, I mean, what's the story here? So that was my thing was like, what's the story here? So the story where it gets to the point of this being like a serious matter to why they're actually investigating is the fact that the allegation is that Vince McMahon, I guess, basically pawned this employee, this former female employee, back in 2019 to Mr. John Laurinaitis. People power, people power. By the way, I hated John Laurinaitis as a character. He was so goddamn annoying as a general manager. You can just from my frustration of imitating his stupid ass voice. Anyways, so John Laurinaitis, outside of his people power character, character, is that he is like basically the talent relation guy or whatever. Or he was, and then he lost that job for a while, and then he got it back, I guess, like about a couple of years ago. So yeah, I don't know what he had been doing before that, but yeah, that's what John Laurinaitis has been doing since then. Because people power. Anyways, so that's what's been going on. So the allegation basically is that Vince McMahon pawned pawned the female employee. We don't know who it was. I'm sure it was just some. They said it was some paralegal person, so she must have some type of lawyer experience if that's the case. Um, I'm thinking. Um, so it was probably one of those behind the scene people, not an actual performer or anything like that. Um, Wrestler or whatever. So that's where this is getting buzz right now is because of the whole pawning allegation. Now I don't know if that happened or not. I know Vince McMahon. A lot of people are suggesting that there's conspiracy theories. Oh well, they want to sell WWE, so Nick Khan put this out here to try and get Vince McMahon out. That's one of the conspiracy theories that's going on right now is that Nick Khan purposely did this because look, Shane left after the whole Rumble thing as a wrestler, even though he didn't actually work behind the scenes with WWE, he was just a performer. Shane kind of does his own thing. And then the whole thing with Stephanie just a couple of weeks ago, she is taking a break or whatever from her position. And so people were like, oh, well, this is Nick Khan trying to get Vince out as the CEO of the company or whatever, chairman of the board. Which to me also, I raise a lot of questions to this whole idea of why the board is investigating this when Vince McMahon's the chairman of the board and he owns the majority of the stock as well as the majority of the voting power. So no matter what they come up with, Vince McMahon isn't going to vote himself out. Vince is not leaving, guys. He has control of the company. Okay? He has majority say of the company. Now, I know a lot of people are saying that, oh, well, sponsors can pull stuff away. And to people that are newer to wrestling, and I know this is a social media age, so take it for the grain of salt because I know there is Me Too and there's all these things that want to pull people away and shit like that and cancel people. But here's the thing. Vince McMahon he has lost sponsors before. That's no big deal. He's done it before. And he has recovered tremendously. Vince McMahon literally beat the federal government. He beat the federal government, guys. He was charged with supplying, or allegedly supplying his wrestlers with steroids, which the federal government charged him with this. He was arrested and charged with this back in 1992, and he was acquitted. He was found not guilty of these allegations of supplying his wrestlers with steroids. He was, because they were allegations that the federal government put on him, but he was proven to have not done that. Point being is Vince McMahon has gone toe-to-toe with powerful government officials. Do you think for a second that he's worried about this? Do you think he is for a second is worried about this? He is not. And I know some people are going to say that I'm giving Vince McMahon way too much credit because I've been watching WWE for so goddamn long. But I've heard crazy stories much worse than these stories that we're hearing right now about Vince McMahon. And I just can't lead to believe that anything's going to happen, especially when he has control of the voting power and he has the control of the stock. I can't see anything happening. I don't know how they're investigating if he's the chairman of the board, though. I thought that was kind of interesting. I don't know what to think of this because, again, I don't know if it's true. I don't know what the hell is accurate when it comes to this story. Again, this is a recent story. I mean, the allegations are from 2019, which is only a couple of years ago. This is not something from like 20 years ago. Like we've seen before in the Me Too era, where we see stuff come out like years later. This is something very recent, as I said, this alleged incident. So I don't know what to think. Like I said, when I first heard this, I didn't really think much of it because it was just him cheating on Linda, which let's be real right now. He's cheated with Linda. We all know Vince McMahon's been cheating with Linda. All right, in character and out of character, because we know on TV he's cheated on her. All right, he freaking made out with Trish Stratus, which don't get me wrong, I'm sure he enjoyed it. But I mean, this is the same person that comes up with storylines that literally, obviously, he doesn't come up with these crazy storylines anymore because WWE's PG and they're not TV-14. But during the TV-14 era, this is the same man who literally came up with a storyline that literally had The Undertaker abducting his own goddamn daughter. Okay? Abducting his own daughter, and it turned out that Vince McMahon was the higher power in all of this storyline. For any of you OGs out there that remember the Attitude Era. Alright, this is the same Vince McMahon that did that. Okay, are we really going to be like taking this at face value at this point? I mean, he's an on-screen character, okay, that does all these crazy things. Well, not so much now, but back in the day when WWE was rated TV-14. I mean, not so much in the PG era, but I mean, this is how crazy Vince McMahon was when writing these damn storylines. Okay? He had Lita and Edge do a live bed celebration. I mean, come on, guys. I don't know what to think of this. I don't think. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. I don't think we're gonna find anything out. I mean, I'm surprised we found this out, but something tells me that Vince McMahon is gonna bury this story like he always does. Like anytime when a story comes out about him, like real life contents, not like in character television character. Anytime when a storyline comes out, he somehow gets it buried. Obviously WWE's been a public company since 1999. Before that, they were a private company where Vince was just the sole owner of it. Vince McMahon is technically still the owner, even though he doesn't have the owner title anymore since it's a public company now. It's been a public company since 1999. This is mainly due to the war with WCW at the time. And the Montreal screw job and all that stuff. He wanted to kind of save his assets because he was losing money. And so that's why he moved the company to be a public company. But when they became a public company in 1999, he was transitioning into a public company as early as 1997. They didn't officially become a public company until like mid-1999. But he was already starting the process in 97. Because during 97, he was losing to WCW, the Monday Night Wars. A WCW Nitro, Monday Night Nitro, was beating Monday Night Raw in the ratings back in 97. They were kicking their ass back then. And so that's why he made the process. That's what also led to the Montreal screw job, because he wanted to start limiting the money pool on who he paid. And so that's why he had to renege on Bret Hart's contract, 20-year contract or whatever. And that's what led to the goddamn Montreal screw job. So that's why they became a public company. By 1999, they were already beating WCW, but that they already had the process going on by that point. But they've been that since. But Vince has always been the owner. Like, I mean, he's not really an owner anymore since they're owned by since they're a public company now. But he's always had the majority stock. He's always had the majority voting power. It's always been like a family business despite it being a public company. That's the one thing about WWE. It never went corporate in that sense. It never went to these major conglomerate studios or whatever. And that's why I always tell people I don't believe he'll ever sell the company because it's a family business. It's a family oriented business. This is why I always tell people they're never selling it until Vince dies. Like I said, that Vince McMahon will never sell this company because Vince McMahon wants to pass it down to his family. You like Vince Sr., his father, did with Vince. I don't think that will ever happen where we see a scenario where Vince McMahon will legitimately sell the company because it's his baby at this point. And, Vince had plenty of chances to sell this company. He never did. He never did. He could sell it now, probably make a lot of money off of it as well. But, Vince has the control. Like, he has the control. He has the voting power. He has the majority stock power because he's basically the owner. He's basically the owner. I mean, he is the owner despite not actually having an owner title anymore because it's a public company. But he's basically been the owner. So I mean, that's kind of how it is with WWE. They have a unique thing with them being a public company because they've always still been a family business, despite everything, despite them being a public company. I just can't see it, and I don't know where this is gonna go. This whole allegation is gonna go with Vince and John Laurinaitis. John Laurinaitis might get fired. I could see him getting fired because Vince McMahon, like, he's always going to protect himself before he protects anyone else. So he might fire Laurinaitis or force him to resign. I don't know. He did that with Pat Patterson when they had the 92 scandal. I'm not going to get into the 92 scandal. You can all look that up. There's serious, horrendous allegations about the 92 scandal. And I'm not going to get into that one because I'll get demonetized for that one. I don't think that was ever solved either. Yeah, I cannot. That's an itchy whole thing, and in that video would need its own merit for itself. Um, but yeah, I mean, but yeah, I can't see it. I can't see this going anywhere. I'm sure this is just gonna. I mean, whatever the story is right now, I think it's just gonna be canned. Whenever they decide to come out about it, it's gonna get canned. Well, I don't think it's ever. I think it's just gonna get like they're gonna say it's investigated and then nothing happens. But I don't know. I don't know. People are gonna probably say I'm giving Vince McMahon too much credit, but I can't see this going. I can't see this consciously going anywhere. I don't think this had anything to do with Nick Khan or these stupid ass conspiracies about frickin' Nick Khan taking over the company and all this crap. Nick Khan's looked really crappy too, by the way. Nick Khan is not a. See, the problem I have with Nick Khan is he's not a really wrestling promoter. He's not a real wrestling promoter. He's a business guy. He's not a wrestling promoter. He's not a wrestling guy. That's another reason why I don't think Nick Khan is going to, I mean, he tried to book a goddamn venue just recently for Money in the Bank in a stadium and couldn't sell the tickets, so they had to move it to a smaller venue, okay? And I'm almost certain Vince McMahon told him that was a bad idea. He told him, look, I've been doing this for 30 plus years. That's not how you do shit, okay? Because Vince knows how he knows how to draw a crowd and knows how to take over territories because he did it in the territory days when he conquered, all the territories, back in the 80s. Nick Khan doesn't know how to do this. He's never experienced that. That's what he does. See, he doesn't understand it. He looks at this as a business sense. He doesn't look at the full scale because he doesn't look at the wrestling thing. That's another reason why I'm worried of whoever does take over after Vince passes away, or if they do take it away from him. That is one thing I worry about, is if we get a non-wrestling mind and we just get a corporate guy. If we get a corporate guy, WWE is screwed. It's worse than what it is right now. because at least with Vince, he sort of knows the ins and outs of the business. Not just making business decisions for the sake of business decisions. Nick Khan's better at the streaming aspect of it. When he made that stupid deal with NBC, which everyone hates because it took away the WWE Network as a streaming service. For Peacock. He's good with that shit. Nick Khan is good at doing that type of shit. He's not good at booking. He's not going to be good at making storylines like Vince can. Okay? Because Vince has like 30 plus years experience of doing this. Okay? So that's the biggest issue. I don't know where this is going. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. I really don't. I don't even know. I mean, the story came out, but I think that's really all that's going to happen, and it's just going to go away. The Benoit thing went away after a while, with everything that was going on with that after the aftermath. He got acquitted from the, federal government. Vince McMahon has gone through a lot of shit, and he's still come out on top in the end. So I don't think this takes him down. I do not think this takes him down. That's my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Again, I just want to reiterate to the fact that this is just my personal opinion on the matter. This does not mean you have to agree with it. All respect here when it comes to the situation. The situation is a serious issue. I mean, I just don't think it's going to personally go anywhere, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, rate. If you like this video, please subscribe. And that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku Moderate. Peace!